Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Kakodash, double honors to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone, or worthy of double honors and citation to the men, brethren, that doing this work in sincerity and in truth, the prophets of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai. All right, so there's a quick one. It's called Get Away From Us If You Lack Luster. Right, and simply is an admonition to those who in this 99 hour who are among the body that lack luster. And if you don't know what the meaning of luster is, luster describes the way light interacts with the surface of a material, mineral, or object, generally referring to its shine, gloss, or sheen. Right? Alright, that's the meaning of luster. And we know that Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 1, right, describes what? A wise man. Who is a wise man, right? And who knoweth the interpretation of a thing, right? And these were the prophets are deemed to be wise men and knowing the mind of Yahweh Shemel Shai. You know, that question was asked, who knoweth the mind of the Lord, right? The prophets, he said, were Jeremiah 3 and 14 and 15, right? Mainly 15, right? He will send prophets or teachers that will feed you with wisdom and with understanding. And in this last hour here, right, we're going into Jacob's trouble. It's clearly that the people are going to be wanting that understanding. They're wanting that knowledge, right? Because there's a portion that's going to come in the last hour as well, right? There are plenty of witnesses to your ministry, right? Questions being answered slowly while they have rebellion in their heart, but yet still the Lord can open up the minds of his elect in the last minute, right? Because just as things start to be fulfilled, they're going to be totally persuaded in their minds, right? But you need to be upon your watch. And you have men who in the camps, right, who are not upon their watch, right, who lack luster, right? It says, a man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and boldness of his face shall be changed. So your wisdom, right, and the beginning of wisdom is the fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Again, luster describes the way light interacts with the surface of a material, mineral, or object, generally referring to its shine or gloss. So wisdom is going to make it shine. And the wisdom that you should be dealing with right now is the wisdom of prophecy concerning how Hashem Yahushai is doing, what he's about to do. All right. And if you're not upon your watch, what are you doing? Right? This is the parable here. Not even really a parable. This is it in Luke chapter 12, verse 35. Let your loins be girded about and your lights burning, right? Again, going back to that wisdom, right? It says, and ye yourselves like unto men that wait for their Lord, right? We are upon our watch waiting for the Lord, and while we watch, we report, and we also pray that we make it out of here, right? None of us have a sure boarding pass, but what the scripture said to do, show diligence to make your calling and election sure, right? Also remember in the same breath, the Lord said what? Many are called, chosen, and few, right? So you have work to do. You have men who just want to be underneath the umbrella of great millstone. They know that is the truth, because really and truly all they are cheerleaders. That's all they are, cheerleaders. But to say that they themselves are great millstones, they are not. They hold the coattail, or they ride off of the coattail of the men who are doing the work, cheering them on, right? And that's not what the Lord looking for. The Lord looking for laborers, right? The harvest is ripe, but the laborers are few. You're here to labor, right? Work out your salvation in fear and trembling. And once you lose that fear and trembling for the Lord, guess what? You stop working. Right? It says, Luke 12 and 36, and ye yourselves like unto men that wait for their Lord, when he will return from the wedding, that when he cometh and knocketh, they may open unto him immediately, right? You're going to have men that not opening immediately, going to be found lacking, slipping, as the brother Nakameda say. You're going to remember 3 points, because when the Lord come, guess what? They're rusty, because why? It wasn't in the spirit. It was in the spirit again, a new vehicle. It was in the spirit again, anything worldly, right? Where it wasn't in the spirit of doing the Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's work, working out your salvation in fear and trembling, right? Because your only purpose, right? The Lord gave you this understanding, what to prophesy, to glorify his name, right? To glorify Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's name. You have a job to do. Do it. It says Luke 12 and 37. Blessed are those servants whom the Lord, when he cometh, shall find watching. Verily I say unto you, that he shall gird himself and make them to sit down to meat, and will come forth and serve them. Right? The Lord will come forth and serve them. And if he shall come in the second watch or come in the third watch and find them so, blessed are those servants. Right? So what are you supposed to be doing? Doing your work. The Lord's supposed to see you on your watchtower. How do you know you're on your watchtower? Right? You have your platforms. You have your platform. We're not like the other Israelite camps. We here at Great Millstone, not we're not like these other Israelite groups, right? We're not like these other Israelite groups out here that have the main speaker, the main teachers, the head of the church, right? We are individual prophets and servants. We have our own platform. They are the company of the prophets. We are part of the company of the prophets doing the work, right? We out here doing that work. You see? It says, and if he shall come in the second watch or come in the third watch and find them so, not the camp leaders so, right? Find each and every member so, them so, the company of the prophets, blessed are those servants. And this know that if the good man of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not suffered his house to be broken through. But he therefore ready also, for the Son of Man cometh and at an hour when he think not. Right? So if you know the Lord coming on an hour that you think not, as a thief, you must always be prepared. You must always be prepared. You must find yourself blameless. You must find yourself on your watch. If it is that if you're a watchman, if you're a watchman on a job or security on a job, right? And you are distracted on the job and something is stolen from the job, who's going to be blaming you? But if you're on the job and you see something and it sound an alarm, you're blameless. You're blameless. The Lord said, give warning from me. But when you're not on your platform doing what you're supposed to do, what's going to happen? You leave the sheep hungry, hungered, thirsty. Right? This is what's happened. You leave the sheep hungry and athirst. All right? So this was just a quick one. Oh, Salaki, I had a little thing to bring out. What I asked AI, what does it mean to be on fire for something? AI says to be on fire for something means to be intensely passionate, widely enthusiastic, or fiercely dedicated to a particular cause, goal, or activity. It describes a state of being highly motivated, unstoppable. Unstoppable. If something is unstoppable or immovable, right? There's no limitations. The scripture said what? To the Lord's elect, right? The Lord's elect, he said what? He gave them a spirit without measure. He who the Lord sent speaking the words of Yahweh Shai, and he gave them the spirit without measure. So they will be unstoppable. Prophecies after prophecies, breakdown after breakdown, lesson after lesson, and performing at an absolute height of your abilities. The phrase is used across few different contexts, right? It goes into deep passion, exceptional performance, and spirituality. You see? So, this was just a quick admonition onto the Akim, right? Come on, do your best, put your best foot forward, right? Stop procrastinating. And if you're not going to do so, just separate yourself, just leave. If you're not able, just leave. Count yourself not part of the great millstone. Not saying that great millstone is going to is carded or have a boarding pass for a chariot. But you should want to be that great millstone, grinding away at all the lies and false philosophies and making it plain, bringing it down to the bare facts. This is what it is. The mark of the beast is such and such. Right? These people are teaching false lies, hypocrisy. This is a seduction. Right? Bring it forward. The scripture say, if a man therefore purge himself, he shall be a vessel fit for the master's use. And it clear. If you're not on fire, it's clear because you're not purged. You're not purged. All right, so with that, I pray it was edifying. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kakodash, Shalom to the elect.